Hey everyone, and welcome back to Storytime. In this video, we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/IdenTworkerelity, where people mistake random customers for actual employees. If you enjoy these types of videos, then do consider subscribing so that you never miss out on another one. But for now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some funny Reddit stories. Look, sir, I do work here, and I am the boss. I'm not sure if this belongs here, but I have a story that is the exact opposite of IdenTworkerelity that I felt would be fun to share. About 5 years ago, I worked at the International Center of a university in the US. To give some background info, I am an Asian female, 5 feet 1 inch in height, and though I was in my early 30s at the time, I did still look quite young and was often mistaken for being in my early 20s or late teens. My main job responsibility at the time was the recruitment, training, and management of about a dozen international student interns who worked the front desk. Anyways, we had been swamped that morning, so I hadn't had time to go out to eat lunch. I got a sandwich at our campus vending machine and sat down in the break room. The break room was always cold due to the AC blasting through the room, so I put on a comfy university jacket I kept at my desk just to wear during the break. I kept the break room door open to keep an ear out for the front and let my interns know they could still pop in to ask any questions they want. I had hired a couple new students that month and they were still learning. A few minutes later, I heard a man's voice yell something along the lines of, "No. No, you don't understand. You're stupid. Stupid." The childish outcries exclaimed in a grown male voice made me immediately stand up and rush to the front desk area, without even remembering to take my jacket off. The man was literally wagging his finger at my intern and yelling, while almost comically stomping his feet. I interjected his tantrum and introduced myself as the intern's supervisor, gave my name and position, and told him I could assist him with the issue. The man immediately looked me up and down and scoffed a short no. He then turned right back to the intern and asked her to call the supervisor, as he needed someone who actually works here, not just some young girl like the intern who sits at the front repeating nonsense. It wasn't my first rodeo with unnecessarily angry students, so I calmly gestured at my intern to step away and planted myself directly in front of him. That made him change his rant towards me, saying, "Listen, I know you Chinese want to help each other, but my issue is urgent, and so I need to see your supervisor. SUPERVISOR CALLHIMANDHECANDSIGNMY. 20. Yes, both my intern and I were Asian, but nope, neither of us were Chinese, and I hate when people over-enunciate when speaking to me. My thoughts often immediately go to, English is my first language, moron, as is evident by the fact I just spoke to you. Also, it annoyed me that he assumed the supervisor would be male. I did my best to remain calm, however, and confirmed the issue. "Oh, so you're here to get an I-20 travel signature? If you go online and submit the form, you will oh, god damn it, you don't understand," he screamed. He then proceeded in a rapid rant, saying that I must get a real staff member who actually works there, instead of giving him the same instructions again, because he needed it signed now, because he wanted to go out of town tonight. And surely the school didn't want to make him, a student who pays such high tuition, to have to come back on campus just to get a signature before he leaves the country after his road trip. "Do I know how much money he gives to the school?" he asked. "Do little girls from China even understand how expensive his luxury trip was?" he wondered. "Get the man who can actually help him in here," he demanded. More background info. University students in the US on an I-20 visa need an updated signature on their form every once in a while in order to travel abroad and get back. Now, I hate it when entitled students ask for unexpected services just for convenience. Many students actually planned ahead and made their requests on time, and it wasn't fair to expedite the process for whoever asked it the loudest. I was actually the one who had the power to approve very limited last-minute travel signature requests due to real emergency situations such as family emergency, etc. But obviously, this guy on his luxury vacation wasn't going to qualify for an expedited service just for being a D-bag. I raised my hand and put my palm out in front of his face for a second to stop his rapid ongoing rant. "Again, sir, I am the supervisor in this area." "No, let me continue. And I hear your issue. My intern here has given you the instructions for an 20 signatures already, but you want expedited service simply because you don't want to have to come back to our office another day to pick it up. Yes? Okay then, no. Let me continue. Unfortunately, that cannot be arranged, so please go home and submit the online form like all of our F1 students and wait 2 to 3 business days for a response. He started to speak again, but I put my hand out to stop him, maintained eye contact, and picked up the phone. Also, sir, if you do not leave immediately, I will be calling campus security to escort you out of the building for harassing me and my staff members. But before you go, just so you know, I will be noting your form that you are missing X amount of days from school. Note that you must maintain your full-time student status for your visa. As you have kindly told us your planned week of absence, please be ready to submit documentation of why this was an excused absence from your classes. Lastly, do not insult my staff again, or you will be banned from entering this office again. He stood there, stunned for a few seconds, then started to say something again, but I then proceeded to dial the number on the phone. I couldn't remember the campus security extension, so I was actually pressing random numbers. And so he ran out. This may have not been the best solution ever to a yucky situation, but this was actually the first time I kicked a student out of the office, so I was a bit shaken up about it. The best part of the story, though, is what happened next. My boss at the time, white female in her 40s, walked in a few minutes after and asked me to come talk to her. I thought I was in trouble for some reason, but she actually asked me instead if everything was okay, because she had met a rude international student outside. Apparently, the rude man had run into my boss outside, and he had asked her if she happens to know who is the boss of the girl in there, and if she knew how he could talk to him. My boss had said that SHE was the supervisor of the woman who works in there, and asked if she could help. The man apparently said something along the lines of how she then needed to find him, the man highest up in the chain, because his issue demanded real work. He was rude enough that my boss actually did call campus police to escort him out of the campus property. She told me that next time, the moment he raises his voice, I do not need to even engage in conversation, but can just kick him out immediately, as he was forewarned that this is what will happen next time. I'm not a client here, lady. This happened over 10 years ago, but reading all these stories made me remember this horrific experience. It's not exactly retail, but I think it's worth telling. As a high schooler, my school made you do a work-study day, super mandatory. I thought I could do a work-study at the job I already had, a vet's office, but I found out the day before that I wasn't allowed. Luckily, my dad was able to get me into a shadowing position at some branch of his company. I show up and am put into the care of Veronica, the program director. I'm supposed to shadow her working for the Adult Community Outreach Program, homeless services, healthcare services, mental health services, the works. Veronica is immediately very irritated that she has to babysit me, tells me to go clean the bathroom and shower, no, and they are used by the shelter residents, so double no. Leaves me with a questionably safe male client in the lobby, mostly wanting to talk about the Order of the Black Sun, thankfully. Insults my intelligence, makes me sit in on caseworker's counseling session with a client, where I get to hear the riveting story of how he jumped a fence and broke his crotch, and I was basically treated like garbage the entire time. I couldn't figure out why until I asked her to sign my form saying I put up with all this stuff. Sure, take it back to school. It's not like you're gonna pass anyways. I don't even know why they let you kids in the Youth Program Society shadow here. You'll all just end up as adult clients in the end. Then I realize, oh, she thinks I'm shadowing her as a client of the youth version of this program. As I stand there, dumbfounded, holding my form and pencil out, she glances out of the window office as the car pulls up. Oh great, why is he here? Who? Sean, the hard-ass moron of a CEO. He's always on me about something or another. Sean is my dad. I let her drone on and keep insulting my dad, alongside all of their youth clients who I'm feeling really sorry for, and then I wait until my dad walks past reception and is walking towards her office. Daddy. I run up and give him a hug. Hi, kiddo. I turn around to face Veronica with the biggest smile on my face and watch her go ghost white. Did you have fun today? Uh-huh, My dad thanks Veronica for letting me shadow her, and we go into the car. I immediately go full tattletale mode like a 4-year-old because oh my god, woman. The kids from the program are shadowing you because they want to choose a career path to help others like themselves, and you treat them like that? Veronica works at a hotel now.